And from Kenya, it's still early morning for Aaron and Helen. It is still really early morning. I expect that in Kenya, it is still around 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, as yesterday she said so. So good morning, selamat pagi, and selamat siang, good afternoon to everyone. Today we are entering the last day of our summer program. Time flies quickly, and we've been through together for 5 days. And I really hope that you enjoy this program so far. And then I will, in the next few minutes, I will just start my thoughts. Then after that, I will open the question and answer. Then afterwards, I will give you a chance to express your feedback. I will allow you to unmute as well as ask you to fill out our satisfaction questionnaire that we have prepared. Because from this input or review of yours, we really hope that we can improve it in our next summer program. Okay, without further ado, I will now let me share screen. Can you see clearly, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I will allow you to unmute yourself. So if I ask, you can also answer it because I saw the number are not so many yet. Okay. On this last class of the summer program, I will talk about how Indonesian government deals with the COVID-19 pandemic. In the last few days, uh, you already learned from Dr. Werner about the economic, then from Miss Fauna and Miss Daisy, Teresia Daisy, you learn about our body. And then yesterday you learned about law. Today I will share about the helicopter view of the Indonesian government. So I will not talk only about certain fields, but more on the 4 or 5 fields related to the Indonesian government in dealing with the pandemic. So that's why I said it is helicopter view. So helicopter view is normally from above, right? From above means that there are no certain field that we will discuss, but more in wider or broader phase. Okay. This is my outline or agenda. I will start with the COVID-19 timeline in the whole Indonesia and East Java because we are located, Surabaya is in Java. Then Indonesian government response, then various policies and regulation that our government imposed. And then the last one is the game changer. That would be our hope related to the vaccine. As mentioned by Dr. Werner 2 days ago, in 2022, we expect 180 million Indonesian citizens have been vaccinated. Then by having 180 residents been vaccinated, then we expect the herd immunity can be occurring. Okay, so that is the I see the main thing, the main important thing that our government does at the moment in order to deal or respond with the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, now I will start with the COVID-19 timeline in the world. You remember that the first case of the COVID-19 happened where? When and where? Anyone? You can unmute yourself.
China.
Wuhan, China, sir.
Wuhan, China. When was it?
December.
December something.
Last day of December, actually. From the media, it says last day of December, which is the 31st of December, 2019. That's why I divided the COVID-19 timeline into pre, which is before the first COVID-19 occurs or released or exposed, which is before the 31st of December 2019. Then we enter to the COVID-19 period, which starts at 31st December 2019. Then we will go through the post-COVID-19 pandemic. But as all of us know, we don't know yet when is it going to be. That's why I put a question marks here and here. Hopefully, all of us hope that it will be soon, but let us see. Okay, the current cases in the world, I took this data 2 days ago, and it is now has around 105 million cases all over the world, with around 2 million deaths, which have been recovered. So currently we have around 30 or 25 active coronavirus cases all over the world. While in Indonesia, how many? In Indonesia, we have around 1 million. Now, it is the timeline in Indonesia, a bit different with the world. In Indonesia, the first case of the COVID-19 happened in 2nd of March 2020. That's why the pre one is before the 2nd March 2020. The same, no one of Indonesian citizen knows when we are going to pass this COVID. That's why I put same question mark. And this is the news about the first case of COVID-19 in Indonesia. I remember at the time in the television, and also this one is the media, our president, Joko Widodo, or known as Jokowi, announced Indonesia's first to confirm COVID-19 cases back in March 2nd or 2nd of March. And I remember that the two first confirmed cases were two ladies. I think a mother and her daughter at that time. Then currently in Indonesia, we have around 1,100,000 corona or COVID-19 cases. And the active cases are around 170,000 cases. And from these cases, around 900,000 have been cured, and around 30,000 were dead. As Dr. Renner mentioned, this is a very low percentage if we compare it with the total population of Indonesia. Anyone remember how many are the population of Indonesia? Anyone? We are number 4 after China, India, and the US. And we are number 4, and we have, wait, anyone? Yes, Roderick, good answer. Thank you, Roderick. Yes, we have around 270. Exactly, it's around 274, 275. Thank you, Roderick, for your good answer and correct one. So that's why I say that the percentage is low. 1 million compared to 270. It's considered quite low. Then this is the number of cases day by day. If you see, this is the first cases occurred back in 2nd of March. Then it seems that we are able to control it until September. If you see, it is still less than 4,000. However, from September till November, you can see the increase were double from around 2,500 to around 5,000. And another unfortunate one, since the November till now, from around 5,000, it is around 3 times now. Now, daily, we have around 14,000 till 15,000, around roughly, cases occurred in Indonesia. So that's why from this November till this one, yes, we are hopefully entering the peak one. And hopefully after this would be decreasing. That is our hope. But let us see too, because no one knows. That's why on if you see later, there are some stricter regulations from the government around this time, December. There will be explained in the next few slides. Okay. Now, I go to the smaller extent of East Java. How about in East Java? In East Java, where Surabaya and Ubaya is located, we have the first case back in 17th of March. And that's why since then, we said that's the COVID-19 period in East Java. And then till when? No one knows the same. That's why I still put the question marks. This is the release from the governor of East Java at the time on 17 March. That East Java had 6 cases, first 6 cases. So in Indonesia on 2nd March, we had 2 cases. The first one, the very first 2 cases. While in East Java, the very first one were 6 cases. And then this is the recent data about the contribution of East Java compared to the total COVID-19 cases in Indonesia. If you see DKI Jakarta, this is our capital city. It contributes the most with around 273 cases. Then the second one is the West Java. Barat is West. Third one is the Central Java. Next one is East Java, which is the Jawa Timur is here. If you see, if you remember on the second day that I said Java is the most dense or populated area in Indonesia. See, you can see from this data here, all of the first 4 provinces that contribute the most to the COVID-19 cases are from Java. Previously, I think few weeks ago, East Java was second. So if we have an analogy of competition, well, East Java, Central Java, and West Java are competing each other in a negative field in this case, because we are actually trying to get the lowest position, not the best position, right? On this situation. Okay, so currently East Java contributed around 110,000 cases. This one is our location. The biggest red dot here represents DKI Jakarta. This is Jakarta. Okay. Now, this is the daily cases in East Java. See, from November, the daily cases is increasing sharply. I think the same in other provinces. And you remember that the from the November, the total cases in Indonesia were increasing quite dramatically, right? 3 times. You can see from the contribution of East Java. The same in other province. Since around November, then the number of cases were increasing quite dramatically. Now, that was the real data and situation occur in Indonesia, also in East Java. Now, we are going to enter how the government of Indonesia, of the Republic of Indonesia, responded. The first and the foremost, I said the first and the foremost because I still remember the establishment of the COVID-19 Response Acceleration Task Force. So this is the task force that was appointed by, or that was established by our president to deal with COVID-19. And it was stipulated on the Presidential Decree number 7 of 2020 on March 13. And under this task force, there were a combination of or collaboration of Ministry of Health, Indonesian Police, Indonesian Army, and regional government. And on 13th of April, so around 1 month after, the President of Indonesia declared COVID-19 as a national disaster. And it was stipulated on the Presidential Decree number 12 of 2020. So because of the increasing number of cases in Indonesia and worldwide, at the time we declared, or Indonesian government declared as COVID-19 as a national disaster. And every province at the time needs to have its own COVID-19 task force. So this one is the national task force, right? While in every province, like in East Java or in Central Java or in Western Java or in Jakarta, every province needs to have its own task force, COVID-19 task force. That will be responsible to manage or to handle or to deal with COVID-19 cases in its provinces. Then, due to the number of the COVID-19 cases that increasing, on 10 April till 4 June, and then it was also extended till 14 of September, Indonesia applied large-scale social restriction. As mentioned by Dr. Werner, that Indonesia never applied the lockdown, but instead we applied large-scale social restriction. That was in Jakarta, and then also in Surabaya. Surabaya is our city. We also applied it around to 28 April till 8 June 2020, of course. And then because of at that time, because I think the president sees that the COVID-19 seems to be decreasing or can be handled, then the president stop or finish the previous task force and then change it to the mitigation and national economic recovery. You see this additional thing, the economic recovery. The previous one, this one, the task force, was only responsible to handle the health. If you see, the ministry or the institution that work under this task force, there is no ministry that is related to the economic or trade, right? Because this task force was focus on dealing with the disease or the COVID-19 itself. While on July, our president, as I mentioned, that he sees that it seems that the COVID-19 can be handled, then he was trying to uh, improve the economic. As mentioned by Pak Werner, you remember that on the quarters two, right? Indonesian was -5, right? Then afterwards, fortunately, we can bounce back up, right? Then I think that is also because of this recovery team. Because this recovery team involved the Ministry of Economics. Okay. Then this recovery team, this is the latest program or the latest restriction that this recovery team applied, where it happened on 11 January till 8th of February. So we are still on it. We are still on it. It was actually from 11 till 24th, and it was just extended on 23rd of February. Sorry, on 23rd of January, and it is extended till 8th of February. So we will see whether it will be extended again until another 2 weeks or not. Normally, like the social, you remember the large scale social restriction, the period was 2 weeks, and every 2 weeks, if the team or the task force saw that the COVID is still uncontrollable, then they normally will extend it, like this one. So what is the difference between the community activities restriction and large-scale restriction? So remember, the large-scale restriction was applied by the government around the first phase of the COVID-19 case in Indonesia, which is around April, right? Well, now, because the government sees the increasing number of the COVID-19 cases, the government now applied the community activities restriction, which is recently. So I will now give you an overview about what is the difference between the large scale and the community activities restriction. Now I give you the difference in the table in order to make you easy to understand. The large scale occurred from 10 April till 14 September. This one is in Jakarta, right? In Surabaya was still around July. While for the community activities restriction, it is occurring recently from 11 January till 8 February. Probably could be extended. At that time, the car capacity, so if you drive car or if you, with family, the car capacity must not exceed 50%. So if you have a car with, say, for example, 8 seats, then the capacity must not exceed 4 passengers. If 5, you will be punished if you are caught. While now it is normal. Normal means you can have 8, the full capacity of your car. 8, for example, 8-seat car, you can have 8 passengers. And at the time, mall in Jakarta were closed. You can imagine around 5 months, all shopping centers in Jakarta were closed. That's why I think also the same, I don't know with in your countries, but I also expect the same that malls or shopping centers are one sector that have been hit too by this COVID. Many stores inside the malls are closed in Indonesia. While during the recent restriction, mall can be open from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. While in the normal situation, I think the same with your countries. The mall are open from 10 p.m. till 10 p.m. Then how about the online taxi? During the large scale one, no passengers are allowed. That's why at the time, another 5 months, online taxi were also heated. Because if you online taxi driver with car, no one can ride you. At that time, online taxi with bike was were still able to serve customers because they were allowed to deliver foods, right, or things, or supermarket. But they, even for the bike, they cannot get any passengers. While now, during the restriction now, it is allowed to have passengers, but of course apply the health protocol. Wearing mask, then the online taxi cars, for example, the driver are asked to spray the not vaccination, defection to kill the virus. Then how about the school or universities? The same. We are still online till now. How about office? At the time, full work from home. No one were allowed to enter the office. So meaning the office was empty at the time. Even in Ubaya, we are not allowed to enter our campus at the time. Now, in the restriction, it is 25% work from home, work from office, and 75% work from home. Meaning that 75% must work from home and only 25% are allowed to enter or work from office. Health protocol, same, strict. Road at that time almost empty. So no traffic jam at all, even in Jakarta. You know, Jakarta is very famous with its traffic jam, right? But at that time, it was almost empty. How about now? Well, it is less than normal because if you compare this, this restriction is not as strict as the last one. So yeah, there are still quite many cars or motorbikes around in the road. Public transport, less operational hours, the same with now. Restaurant closed and no eat in. Many restaurants at the time were closed. While now, it is allowed to eat in, but only the 25% total capacity of that restaurant. Okay, but I think because it's already around 1 year already, that the restaurant is now get used to it to get customers not only from the eat-in, but they get from the digital customers. For example, from the online taxi, Grab, also Gojek. In Indonesia, it's Gojek. Okay. Any questions so far before I continue? I already allow you to unmute. Is the question from what was the curfew like, sir? Yeah, I already mentioned the curfew is like this one, Farsa, like the large scale restriction. So this one is a curfew in Indonesia, looks like. But it is not lockdown, but we call it a large scale restriction, the curfew at the time.
May I ask
Sami,
a question, sir?
pardon?
May I ask a question po?
Okay, after I answer the Sami question, yeah?
Okay.
It is like our COVID interagency task force. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's common. Yeah, I think, and I also guess that every country has its own task force, right? Because I think that's the best agency or the best task force that can handle the COVID-19 because they are alert and they must focus on dealing with the COVID-19 only, right? So yeah, I think I expect the same too. Like in Malaysia, anyone from Malaysia, Anita, you have this kind of task force, right? COVID-19 task force in Malaysia. I know that in Taiwan they do because I once invited the Indonesian embassy officer to share with us about how Taiwan handles the COVID. Okay. Yes, please. Who just
Me, sir.
yes, please.
Um, First of all, I'd like to thank you for being so consistent in sharing all the information since day one. We haven't had an opportunity to thank you for that. And my question
Thank you.
um, is the large scale restriction term is entirely different from lockdown, or is it just another term for lockdown that you use in Indonesia?
Well, not another term because I expect that lockdown is more stricter. If you see here, you can still see the capacity of that uh, car was 50%, and we are still allowed to go outside our home. While I read an article about lockdown in Malaysia. In Malaysia, it is called lockdown, right? Anyone from Malaysia, from Uttar? I remember that it was called lockdown, and police will caught you if you go outside home. Is that correct? While here, it is not. We are still allowed to go outside our home, but with those kind of regulation that impose.
Follow up.
Yeah, that's why, as also mentioned by Dr. Werner, uh, it is always debatable which one we should prioritize first, right? Between health or economy, right? If lockdown, I think uh, the economy will fully dead. While the large scale, even though it is, yeah, I think only 20% or 30% of the capacity, of the full capacity, well, they are still running. Okay, so yeah, I say that it is different in terms of the extent of the restriction or how strict is lockdown and large scale one. While if we compare this, large scale is more closer to the lockdown, while than this one. That's why, frankly say, large scale were more successful in dealing with COVID-19 than this one. Because if you see this one, it is not as strict as the large scale. Don't forget that in this restriction, we or the government still wants to keep the economy going. While this one, well, 20% or 30% of the economy, the normal economy is fine. Okay?
Sir,
Oh,
follow
yes,
up question.
yes.
Since you mentioned that the large scale restriction is like balancing the health priorities and economic priorities, right?
Not at the time. I think the last year were more for health.
Yes, for health. And now for community activities
Yes,
restriction,
more
it's
balancing.
more
Yeah, yeah,
balanced.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, were there cases when some of the people lost their jobs during the large scale restriction?
Yes, of course, many, quite many. I think I around 20 million workers lost their jobs.
That's quite a
Employees.
lot, sir.
Yeah, if
Um,
I'm not mistaken, that data is around that number, but quite a lot, of course. Then I think it is also automatically, not automatically, it is also occurs in your countries too, right?
yes, sir.
Yes, that's why. Yeah. So that's why the COVID-19 hit the employees more around this time than this time. Because once again, our government try to also push, encourage the economy. Then later I will also give you a detail about what the stimulus that the government does or did. Rodolfo, do you have
Mm.
questions?
May I
No?
know, sir,
Yes,
how did the government responded to that challenge, or were there any subsidies given to the people affected,
yes.
especially those who lost their jobs?
Yes, I will talk about that in the next few slides. Okay, that's
Okay,
exactly
sir.
what I will say.
Looking forward.
Okay, no problem. Rodolfo, any question? After
Yes,
Rodolfo, I will continue my slides.
yes, sir. Hello. Thank you for entertaining my question. My question here is, I saw that in the news, Indonesia has also increasing number of cases during like
Number of what?
July. Number of cases.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's actually in the July or August, in the month of July, August in 2020. Now, my question here, what are the problems or challenges of Indonesia that they face when they are controlling the spread of coronavirus during that time, sir, during last year?
Sorry, can you repeat what challenge?
Ah,
What?
sorry. What are the problems or challenges of Indonesia that they face when controlling the spread of coronavirus?
Oh, okay. Yeah. From my perspective, I think because you remember that till around September, uh, it seems that Indonesia can handle it, right? Demonstrated or evidenced by the number of the cases that are not quite high. Then at the time, the government loosened its restriction. See, this one is around September. And I also remember that after this period, government encouraged the tourist sectors, where some tourist objects are allowed to open. Once again, because it is related to economy, right? Then the government encourage local tourists, of course, local tourists, not the foreigners, to go to uh, the tourist objects, of course, by health protocol. And then because of that, many locals were going and traveling to the tourist objects. Then since then, you see the number are increasing. Also, from my perspective, we had also few days of a long weekend holiday during the period since September till around November or till around November or December. Long holiday means that you are allowed to go to the tourist object. Then I think that also contributes to the high number of cases. Not to forget, we just also held the election, the uh, the regional election, electing the mayor, and then it was done offline. So meaning the number uh, the elector can go to the election post and then they do it offline. I think, that's are some, I think, factors that may contribute to the high number. Of course, uh, it is also, frankly speaking, that not every province apply the health protocol strictly. Like in some provinces, I also read some articles that just not all wear the mask, which is in dealing COVID, wearing masking is very critical, right? So I think that was the some factors and the fact that occur in Indonesia that contributes to the high number of this one. And of course, the challenge I mentioned that if you are asked to always wear a mask every day, then people will get bored, right? After they get bored, then they will try to take off the mask, right? So yeah, I think that is the human being does. If you are asked to do it every day, then you will get bored. Okay. Hope this answer your question, Rodolfo. Thank you for your
Yes.
question. Now, let me continue. This one. Yeah, this been mentioned by Mr. Dr. Werner 2 days ago that on March 31st, the government ratified the government regulation number 1 2020 about the additional state budget expenditure around 400 trillion. If it says in US dollar, it is around 27. Well, for healthcare, uh, the budget was around 75 to 100 trillion, sorry, billion. Oh, sorry, this one's supposed to be a trillion. And it is equal with 5 billion US dollar. Social protection budget was 100, around also 100 billion, sorry, trillion, and it is equal with 7.5 billion US dollar. Tax incentive, economic recovery, see this one, economic recovery budget was 150. And tax incentive, yes, around 70 trillion or around 5 billion US dollar. So from that, the health sector, so from this number, the healthcare budget is used to purchase medical equipment. Of course, medical equipment to deal with the COVID. Then the government also provide incentives for the medical worker or healthcare workers. The specialists, doctor specialists, they are given 1,000 US dollar monthly. This one on top of the monthly salary of the doctors. For the general doctor, around 750, nurses, around 500 US dollar. Also, the government also provides subsidy for Social Security Agency. So this one is the actually is the insurance for the Indonesian citizens called BPJS Kesehatan. So during this pandemic, the government subsidizes it. So, for example, before the uh, before the COVID, you need to pay 1 million or 500,000 rupiah, for example. But having this subsidy, then you only need to pay around 200,000 rupiah. So the government provides subsidy to all of Indonesian citizens because these BPJS are all for Indonesian insurance, uh, insurance for all Indonesian citizens. Then for the social protection, around 20 trillion are consumed for the pre-employment program, where each receive around 3.5 million. This one is one, no, gradually given, but the total is 3.5 million. Pre-employment card is the program that is uh, tailored designed or specially designed by the government to prepare uh, unemployed people to have ability to work, some skills to work. For example, presentation skills, communication skills, then soft skills or hard skills, they are all under this pre-employment card. So meaning that if, say, I have this pre-employment card, then I need to join this program and I will get some knowledge about uh, skills or capabilities to work, then it is hoped that after I graduated or finish this program, then I will have the capability to work. So this will help the Indonesian citizens to get jobs or work after or during the pandemic. Okay, and yeah, the amount is around 3.5 million. This is given gradually, but the total is around 3.5 million. Then, wait, okay, I just need one of you that can okay, I already need it. Okay, now let me continue. Then, basic need card. This one uh, is uh, given uh, in the form of basic needs. For example, cooking oil, sugar, then uh, rice, then noodle, then water. So every poor people in Indonesia, of course, there is some qualification of the poor people. They are given that basic needs that amount to 200,000 rupiah per month. Okay, so this is the answer for, I think, one of you that asked about what kind of support that are given to our citizens. This is one of it. Pre-employment basic need cards in the form of the basic needs. So this is not money that is given, but basic needs. Then for electricity under certain kilovolt, they are free. They do not need to pay monthly electricity fee. And for 900 kilovolt customers, they are allowed, they are only asked to pay 50%. And I said this is up to March 21, meaning that this is still on. So yeah, if you have house with electricity capacity of 450, then you don't need to pay your monthly electricity fee. If you have 900 kVA, then you need to pay only 50%. Also, government also give a subsidy for low-cost housing. So this is for the small house. So this is to encourage people to buy small house properties. Then this is the tax exemption, also mentioned by Pak Werner yesterday, for those who uh, for workers with annual salary below 200 million, they will get income tax exemption. Not 100% free, but certain percent of exemption. For the corporate, so this is for the companies, for the corporate income tax, it is reduced from 25, previously was in the normal period, they need to pay 25%. During the COVID, they need to pay 22. Then the debt payments for MSME, normally MSME need to buy some materials from suppliers, right? Then the debt can be paid or can be delayed for 6 months. So this one are related to the tax incentive, the stimulus from our government related to the tax incentive. Then for this one is more for the real people one. For the online taxi, if taxi driver or fishermen or farmers, if you have a debt or credit, the payment can be delayed for 1 year. And the interest rate is reduced. Okay, so this is for the credit below 10 billion. So it is around 600,000 US dollars, which include this one. Okay, so for all credit below 10 billion, payment can be delayed for 1 year and the interest rate is reduced. Okay, that's all related to the economic stimulus. Now, this is about the mobility and transportation. What kind of policies and regulation are imposed by our government? Since the 31st of March, our Ministry of Law and Human Rights on its regulation number 11/2020 prohibits the foreigners to enter Indonesia. While on the 23rd, Ministry of Transportation regulation number 25/22 applies that there is no homecomings. You know, in Indonesia, homecomings are, if you say here, pulang kampung or back to the village, is very popular during the Idul Fitri period. So before the pandemic, every year during the Idul Fitri period, people who are Muslim will go back or homecoming to his or her village to meet their family at that village or at home. And this Idul Fitri contributes a great impact on our national income or on our economy, because the economic activities at that time at the Idul Fitri period was always increasing dramatically, because people will buy things for the gifts for their parents, for example, buy foods, buy cars, new cars. It is happening that, or buy gold, just to show that you are successful in the city. When you are back to the village, you need to bring car, you need to bring gold, just to show the other villagers that you are successful in the city. So that's why Lebaran or Idul Fitri, that is normally followed by homecomings or pulang kampung, are very, very important economic event before the pandemic. But this time, you see that homecoming is very important, right? Very, very essential. But this time, last year, because of the pandemic, homecoming was not allowed. even from 24th April till 7th of May, no commercial flights were allowed. That's what related to the Ministry of Transportation. Then on 6th of May, commercial flights were allowed to run, but with strict health protocol at the time. Strict health protocol, and passengers must have PCR or rapid test negative within 14 days of test. Nowadays, it is within 3 days. Later, I will also talk about that. So this is the regulation from the Ministry of Transportation at the time on 6 May 2020. Then on December, you remember that I mentioned about the long weekend, right? That could be a factor. That could be a factor that contributes to the high number of cases. Then in December 23rd, because of the Christmas and New Year, of course, you can expect that they are a very long holiday, right? Then to cope with that period, Ministry of Transportation applies new criteria for airplane passengers during Christmas and New Year holiday. Health protocol and now PCR and rapid test negative within 3 days. Previously was 14 days, right? Now 3 days. Then if you see here, it was still 8 January, right? And then on 9 January, Ministry of Transportation extend and still apply the same thing with this one. If you see this one is stricter than the previous, right? Then from the 9th January till now, because it was extended till 8 February, which is now is still 5th of February, the Ministry of Transportation still use the same strict regulation of strict health protocol, and then passengers must have PCR rapid test negative within 3 days. But if you go to Bali, it must be 2 days, not 3 days. The same with this one. If we go to Bali, it was also 2 days, not 3 days. Bali is special. Then related to the foreigners, from 1st January till 28th of extended, I think now is also extended too, have been also extended 2 weeks too. No foreigners are allowed to enter Indonesia, and it was released by Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This is this photo is our Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ibu Retno. Now, how about education, where we are now in? Where Ubaya and where you as a student, where I also as a lecturer are in now. Related to education, on 24th March, the Ministry of Education and Culture stipulated this policy: no national exam and study from home, must study from home. You know, in Indonesia, before the pandemic, national exam was must. It is compulsory. All students, in order to graduate from senior high school to university, before they entering university, they must pass this national exam. The same thing, elementary school students who want to enter junior high school, they must pass elementary school national exam. The same applies for the junior high school student. So it was really compulsory and obligatory, and it was a must for all students to pass this national exam. But during the pandemic, there was no national exam. And I remember that yesterday, this ministry has just also announced that for this 2021, there will be no national exam again. Wait, please excuse me to unmute one of you. Okay. So there was no national exam last year and this year, and study from home, which is online teaching, right? And then on 9th of April, this ministry also applied that there is no foreign students allowed to enter Indonesia. It is demonstrated that there is no new study permit. New study permit is an important document in order for foreign students to get student visa in Indonesia. And since this date, there is no new student permit issued until now. So at the moment, we have no foreign student all over Indonesia. Excuse me. Oh, yeah. Then on 24th June, so if you see this one, normally our academic period will end in the mid. Excuse me, can you please mute yourself? Okay. Our academic period normally starts from around August or July till July this year till July next year, right? Then for this one, SFA is from for the previous academic year, which is till July. Then on June for the next period of July, which is in 2020, this ministry also applied study from home till this end of this year, meaning this end of 2020. Okay. Then what about the supports of this Ministry of Education to the students and to the lecturers? On 27th of August, we received, as a lecturers and as a students, received 50 gigabyte quota free. While for the tertiary, high school and elementary students and teachers, they receive 42 gigabyte and also 35 gigabyte monthly. And until now, it was decided till December, but now it was already extended until now. So I now still receive the free internet quota from our government. Then early January this year, this ministry applies the same. Study from home till end of this year, meaning till this July. We will see whether it will be extended or whether it will be stopped. I believe that if the COVID-19 is controllable or is decreasing worldwide, then study from the campus would be applied. But if not, study will be still study from home. Then this would be the most important one. What to do now? Because we know that COVID-19 is everywhere, is increasing, right? Not only in Indonesia. Even in Vietnam and Taiwan, I heard that even there are only few compared to Indonesia that is around 12,000 or 15,000 cases daily. But I heard that in Vietnam, even few nowadays COVID-19 occurs, right? Then, as the game changer, COVID-19, the government initiated the COVID-19 vaccine to all of our residents. On 16 December, sorry, this one is 2020, our president announced that all Indonesian citizens will receive free of charge COVID-19 vaccine. Okay. Then the government, in order to realize its free vaccine to us, to Indonesian residents, the government has been in contract with, I think this one has already mentioned also by Werner, has been in contract with 5 different companies: Sinovac, Novavax, Pfizer, AstraZeneca, and Covax. Covax is from UN. Sinovac is from China. Astra is from UK, if I'm not mistaken. Which total, if you count this one, around 300 doses. 125 million doses from Sinovac, 50 from Novavax, 50 from Pfizer, 54, 55 from Covax, and another 50 million doses from AstraZeneca. If you total it, it would be around 325 million doses. Then it is common that Indonesian, the same I think with in your country too, that our residents are afraid of vaccine. Then in order to prove that the vaccine is safe, our president, when he was first vaccinated, so in Indonesia, the very first vaccine occurred or injected on 13th of January. And it was injected to our President Jokowi. And it was broadcasted live in the TV. All national Indonesian televisions broadcasted this moment where our president was vaccinated. It was his first doses. And it was, our president was the first people in Indonesia that was vaccinated. Okay, and the second dose was vaccinated also to him and also to others, government officers, and we also have influencer that was injected, vaccinated. The second one was in 28th January. Then you may think about who would be vaccinated first. Then in Indonesia, the government has determined the 4 phases of the vaccination. If you see this one, the first priority, the first phase that is vaccinate. Wait, may I stop here first just to remove this one? I just stop here. Now I will re-share screen again. Okay, now it is clear. The first phase, which is the first priority, was given to healthcare workers and equivalent. So nurses, doctors, specialists, and etc. And also even the pharmacies. And when is it occur? It will be on January from 13th, starting from 13th till April. In parallel with that, Indonesian Army, Indonesian Police, the public service officers, law enforcement, and people older than 60 years old would also be vaccinated from January to April. That's the second phase. Then on the third phase that will start April till March, it would be for vulnerable society segments, then also for the public like us and economic players or economic actors for the third and fourth one. So like us, like me, like my colleagues, we would be on this phase. So we expect around, April till March 2022. Okay, I think that is all of my presentation, the main presentation of today. Before I actually have, I will just continue of my promise on the first day. Just 2 slides. I promise you, or some of you, to share about Indonesian traditional clothes. And here is batik, here is blankon, this is a Japanese hat, right? I remember some of you asked about the Indonesian traditional clothes, right? Here is batik. Okay. Here is kabaya. This is also a Japanese traditional clothes. Normally will be worn by ladies for attending ceremonial, wedding ceremony, and other ceremonies. Because this one is somehow quite formal. Okay. Then last but not least, this one something that you would like. This is also that something that I promised to show you, right? This is the rujak cingur, the cuisines of Indonesia. Rujak cingur. This one is the cuisine from Surabaya. And this one is a mixed tofu. You remember on the first day? Tahu campur, mixed tofu, right? This is the mixed tofu looks like. And this one is the rendang. This is a very famous. And this one is a nasi goreng, or fried rice from Indonesia. Okay? Don't ask me about these questions, right? Because I will focus on the questions on the my presentation related to the Indonesian government in dealing with the COVID. Okay? Okay. Now, first questions. Once again, you can unmute yourself, but I will Sami, Moderna. Yeah, I think I heard that Indonesian government is still in negotiating or in talks with other vaccine companies, because now it's still 320, and yeah, we still need, I think, another 200 million, of course, from other different vaccine company. Okay. Selamat pagi, Clyde. Any questions? You can unmute yourself, please. Viola, you want to ask something? I saw that you are unmute yourself.
Hello, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Please feel free to ask me anything about this one. How about in Kenya? I'm interested because Kenya is the farthest from us. What is the current daily COVID-19 cases in Kenya? Aaron or Helen? Helen, perhaps? Helen, yeah, Helen, perhaps? Ivan, I think I already answered yours. What brand of vaccine? The 5 companies one. Sinovac, Novavax, AstraZeneca, then Pfizer. This one, the 5 brands. I think I already answered. Helen, are you here? How many cases in Kenya now? Or just from Philippines, how many cases daily in Philippines nowadays?
Hi, Adi.
Oh, hello, Helen. How are you?
Helen, sorry.
Yes, you can video on. All of you, if you want to video on, please do so. Of course, if you have an internet limitation, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
So
is the current COVID-19 cases in Kenya, Helen?
it's the total. It's 101,000
Mhm.
estimation. Huh?
Mhm.
The current case is 101,339 cases, and for deaths, it's 1,773.
Daily.
Yeah, cases.
Oh,
For
okay.
corona.
Yeah. So it is 1/15 of our country. We have around 15,000 daily. So that's
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Helen.
Welcome.
Do you also have a task force in your country, the COVID-19 task force in Kenya?
Sorry, you said if
Do
you
you
have
have a COVID-19 task force in Kenya?
um
National task
uh,
force.
task force?
Yeah,
Not really. No,
not really.
no. It's just
Okay.
more of course, there are measures that are taken, like it's a must you have to put a mask on. You have to, there's a curfew also.
Oh, coffee.
We have
Okay.
Yeah, we have a curfew from 4 a.m. You can go out from 4 a.m. and you should be at home by 10 p.m. latest.
Okay.
So yeah, there's kind of like a task force, of course, for people who go beyond the curfew.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you, Helen.
welcome.
Question from Maria. Wait. What are thoughts of the people about getting vaccinated? Are they comfortable? Well, the same. I think uh, most of the most of people are still questionable about the vaccine because they are afraid of the side effects of the vaccine, right? The same in Indonesia, it also occurs. That's why our president tried to convince Indonesian people by getting vaccinated as the first person in Indonesia. And it was broadcasted live to show, to demonstrate that the vaccine is safe. But frankly speaking, yeah, many are still questioning the success rate of the vaccine. Okay, still the same. I think the same in your countries too, Maria. I think Filipinos also are questioning, right? Because it is something new. It is something novel. No one ever tried it. Of course, people will question it. Will question it. Not to forget that the development of this vaccine is less than 1 year. Well, you remember what Fauna said that the normal one was 10 years, right? So, yeah, it is normal and common if we question it. But once again, the choice is being infected by COVID or being infected by the side effect of the vaccine. Okay. Now, next question is wait. This is the data from Sami. Thank you, Sami. In Philippines, from January, there have been 530. So with 10,000. Okay. So we have 1 million and we have around 30 deaths, right? 30,000, of course. So we are twice of you. How, I think I answered, Patrick. You just join, or the curfew looks like the large scale social restriction. So it is, we are still allowed to go outside because this one is not locked down. We are still allowed to go outside, but yeah, there are some regulation that applied on the curfew. I think I already showed you on my presentation, right? So it is curfew was more like the large scale restriction, social restriction, not the community activities restriction. 500, yeah, 530 cases. Thank you, Twitter, Yay, Sami. Oh, you already. Fiala, other than social distancing and face masks, what other preventive measure observed to prevent the spread of virus? um, Because social distancing, face masks, washing hands are all the same all over the world, I think nothing special. The only special thing that is different is the large scale one and the community activities. I think the the programs from the government. Uh, I don't know. In your country, how about in your country? Do you does your government apply lockdown or kind of a social restriction like ours?
Yes,
Oh,
actually, sir. We do have this thing called the face shield that we put in front of our faces.
oh yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah, the
But
face
it is
shield.
not.
Yeah, I was really thinking that the Philippines was the only country to have that kind of preventive measure. I think it's not scientifically proven or backed up, but
You're
I
correct.
think the reason for the government is for the people to avoid them touching their eyes and their
Ah, yeah, yeah.
nose. Yeah. So I was really wondering, do you have things like that too, or is it really unique to the Philippines?
Well, yeah, thank you. Face shield in Indonesia is not compulsory because, yeah, scientifically, there is no evidence that face shield can prevent the COVID-19 spread. Well, that something that is compulsory is fast mask. But in reality, normally people in Indonesia, this one is also related to the fashion, your appearance to others. Normally, ladies or gentlemen who feel they are handsome or beautiful, they will use, they will wear face mask and facial. But once again, Indonesian government doesn't ask or force people to wear facial, but face mask. It is compulsory. And then, yeah, it is also common not to shake hand or to touch with others, but with namaste. Namaste. As Pak Ferry mentioned yesterday, namaste. I think namaste is from India, right? So we greet others, but we don't touch others. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Viola.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, Ivan Cortez, same with data. It's good to, yeah. Yeah, our president always supports the COVID-19 pandemic deal. So, yeah, he's very concerned. That's why our government gave us bought us the vaccine. As Pak Werner said, not every country has get vaccine, right? I don't know. In Philippines, does your president buy any vaccine to the residents?
We only actually hear rumors about,
Rumors.
yeah, because there ain't no one vaccine that is actually approved by to use for emergency. The emergency use, they say. So we only hear something from Sinovac, Moderna, Pfizer, but nothing is really assured that there's a vaccine already in the country. I'm not sure about that.
Okay, okay. How about in Bangladesh, Tamil Islam? Does your government buy vaccine for the residents? I remember. Yes, please. Uh, Terminal, we cannot hear your voice.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Already, our Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina already uh, uh, giving vaccine to our community, and we are really proud of that. And uh, uh, our country are under controlled in COVID-19. We are facing 400 plus 400 to 500 daily cases
Oh,
right
it's
now.
low.
Yes, sir. So this is really good for our country.
Okay, so Bangladesh already has the vaccine. How about from Hindustan or anyone from India? Because India is also high.
Yeah.
Janani, perhaps, or anyone from
Yes.
Hindustan
Yes, sir.
would like to
Yes, sir.
inform us or share us.
Well, the status of the vaccine, like the vaccinations, it's out, and I think the frontline workers are getting it right now. At least that's what the news is. So like, and unis are going to be reopening soon. Hopefully,
Okay.
everything will go back to normal fast.
Okay, so India also has it, yeah?
Yeah, we have it.
Okay. How about from Malaysia? Anyone from Malaysia, from Utara perhaps? I remember Anita. She's not here.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
yes.
So yes, Malaysia will receive the vaccine around January this year.
Okay. So your government also has been or has signed contract with several vaccine companies, yeah?
Yes,
Okay.
we expect from Pfizer, Sinovac, something like that.
Okay, same then. Okay. Good to hear. Hopefully, countries that are still questionable will get it soon. Okay. Now, thank you, Rodrigue. That was a really good move that president got vaccinated first. It is really shows that, yeah. How about the foreigners who live in, do they still receive the vaccines? No. The answer is no. Only given to Indonesian residents. Helen, yeah, thank you, Helen. 100,000 with that's only 1,000. Yeah, thank you. Recover 84. Thank you for the data, Helen. Mary, I would like to ask what did the new was the government take quick to close? Yes, of course. You remember that Mary Ruth for the new strain? One of the reasons why our government closed or prohibited the foreigners coming to Indonesia was because of the new strain from the UK, from the South Africa, right? Yeah, that's why. You remember my presentation? Our Ministry of the Foreign Affairs prohibited foreigners, right? Yeah, that was the response of our government. Headshot. Okay. Yes, sir. Namaste is from here. Is there any specific time that citizens are allowed to stay outside? Now, uh, in Surabaya, I think also in Jakarta during the community activities, we are encouraged to be back home around 8 o'clock at night or 8 p.m. If not, there will be special police. Do you remember on the first day, someone asked me about the Surabaya special police, Satpol PP? Yeah. Then if not, Satpol PP will do the swap hunter. So if you are still outside home after 8, the probability of you to get swab test. So if you are still outside, you will be asked to do the swab test. Then the probability of you to get a swab test would be higher, right? Because the Satpol PP will do the random, of course, random swab test to those who are still outside after 8 o'clock. That's what's the specific time that nowadays in Indonesia we apply. Then next questions. Okay, I think no more questions after Ivan. Thank you, Ivan. So if there is no more questions, first I would like to thank you for finishing my presentation with your active participation on the chat section and also on the chatting with me. It was really interesting to know something new from your countries and to also, of course, to share what I know, my knowledge about Indonesia to all of you. I really hope that this will give you some overview some knowledge uh, of Indonesia, of Indonesian government in dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay. Now, as I mentioned earlier, that I will now ask you to do. Sorry. We are now entering for the feedback. Now, please complete the satisfaction questionnaire on this link bit.ly dot and QSP 2021. bit.ly QSP 2021. I will give you 2 or 3 minutes for you guys. Sorry, the QSP. Sorry. Wait. The QSP is small, so it's bit.ly QSP small alphabetical, not the capital one. So it's supposed to be bit.ly, then this one's supposed to be wait, supposed to be QSP small. Okay. So I will share screen again. Sorry. So it should be QSP small word, a small alphabetical, okay? Not the capital one. So bit.ly QSP 2021. I give you 2 or 3 minutes just to complete it. It is very simple. Please give your feedback. What do you think about this program? Uh, and what do you feel about this program? If you are satisfied, please answer it satisfied. But if not, also fine. It would be important for us for our next organization of the summer program. Thank you, Generoso, for providing the link. Yeah, if you go to the bit.ly, you will be connected to that Google Doc. Okay, another 1 minute for those who finish. Wait, there is one thing on here. Most of you already finished? Anyone? Okay, I will give you another 1 minute then. Okay, I saw some of you already finished. Now, I will allow you to say something. Right. To say your feedback. You can unmute yourself, turn on your video. Please say what do you think about the program? Whether you are satisfied, anything do you want to say? Please, anyone, if you want to say something.
Thank you, sir. This is Taminul from Daffodil International University, Bangladesh. Can you
Thank
hear
you,
me?
Samuel.
Okay, sir. It was a really great opportunity for me to experience such a great international program, and I personally believe that this program will help to know more about the Indonesian culture and how they treat with COVID-19. So I got too many friends from this program so far who are becoming very important. After all, it was a really excellent international program. I would like to thank to University of Ubaya along with my university, Daffodil International University, for giving me to experience such a great international program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Taminul. Thank you for your compliment. Thank you also. And yeah, the same. I hope that this program will be useful for you, not only to get knowledge and and sharing and experience, but also to get friends from other countries.
Right, sir.
That might be important in your next or future endeavors. Thank you, Taminul. Anyone else would like to say something or share something? What do you think about the program? Anyone who are not satisfied, also
Yes.
please.
Hello, sir.
Thank you,
Yes.
Rodolfo, please.
Yes. First, I'm very thankful to the University of Surabaya for giving us this opportunity because, um, personally, this was my first summer online program, and I had so much fun. And also the all the lectures were very informative. No, and it immersed us to understand the Indonesian traditions and culture as well as the new perspectives um, coming from Indonesia and how they deal with this pandemic. I'm sorry. My recommendations, I guess, would be I had a lot of fun, especially on the Indonesian language class, and I suggest maybe that you should also have breakout sessions wherein there's also a small group so that we can, be more centered on teaching the language because language is really fun to learn, especially Indonesian language.
Thank you,
Yes.
Rodolfo.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your input. Well, actually, related to the breakout rooms, we already planned for it, but because of the number of the participants are quite many, while uh, our international staffs are not as many as you, then yeah, it will be a bit difficult because normally breakout room will be managed or supervised by one person, right? That's why.
Yes.
Yeah. But
Okay.
thank you for this input. Perhaps next time we will have more to help us part time. Thank you, Rodolfo.
You're welcome, sir.
Any Helen, you want to say something from Kenya?
Yes. I would like to say, on behalf and of course of my colleagues, I would like to say thank you. I appreciate the University of Bayer taking this opportunity to welcome us in, and also we have learned so much from you. And the only thing I can say is, I don't know whether if it's possible, but if it's possible for like some of the notes to be shared,
Okay.
yeah, to us as in all participants who are here. Thank you
Okay.
so much. You've been wonderful. I appreciate.
Thank you,
Terima
Helen.
kasih.
Terima kasih. Yeah,
Yes.
for the notes, I need to ask the presenters one by one because it is their right property, right? That's why I need to ask. But if we are able to share it, or only some of the presenters allow it, then we will share it and send it to your email, guys. Okay? No problem.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Helen. Anyone else would like to say something?
I want to say something, sir.
Yes, please. Yep.
As a Malaysian, I think that Indonesian language and Malay is actually similar, but some difference are quite confusing. Like in Malaysia, elder brother we call abang, but Indonesia also call kakak.
Kakak.
Then then I shared on Facebook, written the status about kakak in Indonesia is brother and elder sister, both also can be used. Then my friend said, no wonder kakanda in palace language is brother in law, I think so. Then I just realized a lot of things.
Yeah.
I get to know a lot of new people from other countries, and I like to be friends lah. So I basically add everyone in Facebook.
Okay, no problem. I will also talk about that after this. Thank you, Yai. Thank you for talking. Also, send my regards to Uttar International Office because I've been working with them quite a lot. Okay, thank you, Yai. Now, there is a message from Maika. Thank you, sir, for sharing information about Indonesia, especially about your culture and COVID-19 restrictions. We learned a lot, and I can say that most of us has the same COVID-19 protocols. We really enjoyed the 5-day class as it was really fun and informative and really good to experience and know about your country. If I will be given another opportunity to join, definitely I will join again. The speakers were really good. Thank you and keep safe. Thank you, Maika, for your message. Thank you. Patrick, terima kasih. Jack, this has been a wonderful week to me. I have learned a lot. Thank you, Jax.
So can I say something?
Yes, please, Farsa.
All right. Well, on behalf of everyone from Hindustan and India, I'd like to thank you guys for giving us this opportunity. It's multicultural. We got to meet so many different people, understand Indonesian culture for what it is. I have actually been to Indonesia before, so I felt like I was revisiting it, but like online. It was really cool and I loved it. It definitely gave me a lot of insight on a lot of different things, and I feel like it's only broadened my knowledge, and I'm super grateful for that. So thank you.
Thank you. Also send my regards to David Iso from Hindustan. You know
I
him?
will.
Okay. Also, thank you from Paul, Aubrey, Maika, terima kasih, Charmaine, terima kasih, Gal, terima kasih, Julia, Robles, terima kasih, Krisni, Bel, terima kasih, Syahira, terima kasih, Reynald, terima kasih, Jeremy, terima kasih, Jax. Can you create WhatsApp group? Well, after this, I will remind you about something, Jax. Because the WhatsApp group, it is more private, so we prefer to use a social media first. Then you can connect with each other on the WhatsApp. If you want to continue, because now you have a private data protection, right, Jax? That's why I really pay attention on it. Okay, but after this, I will remind you about something. Then Kenneth, Adrian, thank you. Salvi, thank you. Terima kasih. Mikaela, terima kasih. Sheila, terima kasih. Parker, terima kasih. Abeda, Alisa, Helen, terima kasih all. Terima kasih semuanya. Okay, it's all says terima kasih. Then I will continue with next one, yeah? Oh, this one. Generoso. Good everyone, I'm Ryan and we are for Centro Escolar University. We truly appreciate for being part of this summer program. We're truly grateful to be with you. Maybe we not learn everything, but I know that we learn something from everything. Thank you, Generoso, for your compliment. Marimang Salamat, thank you for this opportunity. Okay, can we share our social media, sir? Yes, wait, now. Okay, about social media and connecting with each other. Wait, let me stop share first, now reconnect. On the first day, if you remember that I asked you to fill this one. Oh, sorry, the certificate would be later. I will talk about this one. Sharing your contact, right? If you want to share with each other your contact, you can complete this link and then the committee will share the result, meaning that if I say I complete this link, then Farsa also complete this link, Rodolfo also complete this link, Patrick is also complete this link. So meaning the 5 of you, of us, want to share their social media contact. Then the committee will send to the 5 people about the result of this link, which inform about Rodolfo, Patrick, Falsa, and my social media. Only for those who fill this one, because once again we have a private data protection. So those who wanna connect with each other, please fill this one, bit.ly Ubaya SP 2021. Okay, Farsa, you can fill this one, Farsa. Or text who ask about WhatsApp group, you can see, fill this one, but this one has no WhatsApp. This one only has the social media one, like the Instagram and Facebook. Well, if you want to connect with me, you can also add me on my Instagram. I think I already mentioned it. This one is my Instagram. This one is my Instagram. If you wanna add, please also. Okay, China cannot use Facebook. Okay, so Instagram perhaps, because we only have here Instagram, TikTok. You can also put TikTok if you want your TikTok account, and Instagram and Facebook. They are the 3 most popular one in Indonesia now. I think worldwide. Not FaceTime. We don't have any FaceTime. Yeah, we have, but very low number of users. Okay, don't forget to fill this one for those who want to share contact. Now, this one is very important for you. I know it's important because you expect to get the e-certificate, right? Okay, the
Yes, sir.
e-certificate will be sent once you already completed all these documents, your photos, your passport or ID, could be the national ID is fine, and also the statement letter that we asked in the first hand actually. So the committee, we will send the students who have not completed this one yet and ask them to complete this one, and we will send the certificate afterwards.
So
Okay?
apart from filling out the form, can we drop the like our Instagram stuff in the chat box, or do we have to do it only on the form?
Okay, let me wait. Sandra, you wanna? I will just stop here. I think that's all for my presentation. I will allow my colleague Sandra Sandra, you wanna say something about what Farsa asked?
Sorry, could you like to repeat the question first?
Basically, I asked if we can give our social media in the chat box or if it has to be only on the form that was
Mhm.
on the spreadsheets.
Okay, so I'll suggest you to write down your Instagram or Facebook or Twitter on the spreadsheet, since we have to protect some of the privacy. So we will send you the result after that, or you can also check it annually to see whether there's a new information from other participants or not.
Okay. I've put mine in, so.
Okay, thank you,
you.
Farsha.
Okay, any more questions related to the e-certificate? Don't forget to complete the documents and we will be happy to send the e-certificate to you. Once again, the committee will email those who have not completed the documents yet. Okay? Anyone else would like to ask or say something about the e-certificate or questioning? Okay, if not, this would be the very end of our summer program. And then,
Thank you, sir, for this wonderful experience.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Ganesha.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you,
sir.
Good.
Makasih.
Last but not least, you wanna take a
Thank
photo
you.
together? Group photo for the last time. Don't forget to turn on your video. My colleague Sandra will. By the way, Sandra, can you video on yourself and also Fancy? They are my colleagues that help us running this program. Thank you for Sandra and Fancy. I think if I am not mistaken, yeah, this is Sandra Kirana. And I don't know, Fancy is here or not, Sandra?
I think so.
Okay.
Wait.
Fancy, if you are in, please video on yourself.
Yep,
I'm here, sir, but sorry I can't turn on my video right now because I'm on
She
the
looks
way right
like this
now.
photo. But she looks like this photo. Okay. Okay, Sandra, please take a group photo for the last time.
Okay. I will take the whole pages. So make sure you turn on the video off.
Yes.
Okay. It will take a longer time. So be patient.
Yes, for the last time it's fine.
Okay, I'll start with the first page. Okay, I'll count. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you for the first page. Let me save it first. And then moving to the second page. Yep, Yellow, Yvonne, Luis, you are here. Take a picture. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. And then moving to the third page. Oliver, Rusty, Monica, Kaira, Maika, Alisa, you are here. With your brightest smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. On the house, we have Primo, Taminu, Julia, Ellie, Hannah, Meganes. Take a picture. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. It's a long journey. Okay, move to the fifth. Aira, Jessica Fortes, Alisa, Ashlia. Jeremy, if you want to turn on your video, you can now. And also Cindy Bayawa, Kate. Okay, I'll take picture. 1, 2, 3. Good. Yeah. on the 6th. Okay, I'll call your name. Miss Roda, Rishengo, Kwangka, Christian, Cecil, and Michaela. Jethro, or yourself, if you want to turn on your video, please turn on now, since I will take a picture of the 6 pages. Okay, instead, I will take. Okay, second page. And then third page. Okay, this is the last one.
Finally.
Done. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you everyone.
Terima
See you
kasih so
in the
much. Terima
future.
kasih.
Thank you. Terima
Bye-bye.
kasih.
Terima
Enjoy
kasih.
Thank you
it.
so much.
Terima kasih.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Bye.